Welcome everyone. Today we are going to do a reading asking what our spiritual team wants us to know, like what we might be missing, their viewpoint on our life right now, and guidance in that way. So I'm just leaving it open, and it's just I feel like it's just about things and signs that a lot of us have been missing. It can be, I'm even feeling like planetary interference, things like that. So we're going to use this time right now to see, let's just say, what our spiritual team wants us to know. We're going to start with the Mother Mary Oracle deck. You know, it's interesting. I took the day off yesterday, and it was beautiful. So I took a book I'm reading and went outside for a little bit to read. And then I just started getting lost in, like, I was listening to the birds, and I'd hear a bird in one tree, like, chirp, 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 chirp. And then a bird, across the yard, I'd hear that bird go chirp, 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 chirp. And then I hear, it's like they took turns. And then I was outside last night for some reason. Because it was hot. It got hot. So I went out in the evening, and the neighborhood dogs started barking. And one would bark on one side, like, of the street, let's just say, like on, the entrance of the street. That dog would bark, and then the dog at the exit of the street would bark, and it was just, everything was in synchronicity. And I was just thinking to myself, it's like, each having their own secret language. Well, look at this. We have God. I step out of the way and surrender any need for control in order to make room for God's healing love to flow through me and this situation. God. Beautiful. I think I'm going to do about 6 cards. And then we'll do another layer on top of that. That's what I'm shooting for. And really, I want you to think, like, maybe even things that you're thinking now, like, I wonder if that was a sign. Ask the question. You need to ask sometimes. You need to many times invite a guide, an angel in, because you have free will. And they have to honor that to a point. But then, here's the energy of God. God. I step out of the way, and I surrender any need to control in order to make room for God's healing love to flow through this. We have the Page of Swords and we have the King of Swords side by side. Interesting. That's air. Talks about our communication. I often feel a page is someone who's learning how to handle their weapon, whatever it is. It's like, all of a sudden I'm feeling like a double-edged sword. It can cut both ways. King of Swords in the upright is someone of honesty, of integrity, of truth. It's going to talk about the evolution of this person. Doesn't matter what sign, just because this is not about signs. This is just us, all of us. We have, okay, the Nine of Swords. Interesting how all these swords are coming out. We have the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles right there tells me I can let go of control. I can. The Nine of Swords tells me this is me, in a way, trying to control something, but I'm controlling it with, you know, I feel like God is here saying there's no need to feel that there is impending doom, right? And it's more, and why? Because this is me projecting my fear way out into my future, right? That truly hasn't even been completely created yet. Because remember, my free will it's almost like 2080, you know? So, anyway. But the Seven of Pentacles tells me this is something, this is a seed of yours. You know, to me that means it's a soul's intention, right? So an opportunity, right? When a seed is ready, I feel like it will fall from the tree. Then you know it is ready. Or, you know, not plucking a fruit before it's ready. Seven of Pentacles teaches us patience, right? Patience for the process. And I don't know. I just feel like I need to say and enjoy the ride, even though I know, like when I say enjoy the ride, like I know what I'm saying. I know to some that just sounds crazy, like enjoy this ride, really. But I feel like I had to say that. Okay, let's keep going. We have the Eight of Cups. We have the King of Pentacles. Earth. We have Judgment. It's about a rebirth. You know, this reading is me reaching out to our spiritual, and I feel like I'm saying our because I feel like anybody who shows up at this reading, in some way, we're soul connected, right? And no matter when you see it, that's when it's right for you. And that's why I keep saying ours. I can't leave myself out of it because this is coming, I feel, more from, you know, I'm asking these questions. So anyway, Judgment, I feel like is saying, and we're going to answer them. Is it about a rebirth? From what? From your mind. Right? Nine of Swords can be like overwhelming thoughts, like feeling overwhelmed, thinking something will never arrive, whatever it is, right? It's a fear-based, it's an emotional or a human-based type action. You know, if you look at it, think the Eight of Swords right before that, right? What are you doing in the Eight of Swords? You're creating, yourself creating armors, barriers, protection around you, right? It's like you are creating your own prison. But maybe you still feel safer. Well, and we have to, at the 8, it's like about a new beginning. So that asks you to look at what energy needs change, just like Judgment, a rebirth, right? So we had the opportunity at 8, kept going, then it moves to the 9. Now, the reason why it's important just to really talk about this is because this could potentially affect your health, right? And honestly, well, look at that. We have the Five of Wands is our last card. So that's... I can feel aggressive, you know. I have to feel in the Five of Wands. These are about people where no one wants to give in. Like, nobody gives in. There is no victor. Sometimes I feel like, well, I have to tell you, Judgment coming right before this, I feel like that's what it's saying to you. Just understand, sometimes there is no victory. It's not about the victory. Quite the opposite. So, but it doesn't mean still I didn't learn something in it, right? Because I mean, if I move here, I have the Eight of Cups, again, self. I feel like 8 is about self, but it's the self that needs a rebirth within a part of one's life. It can be my whole life. Something could have triggered something else, but the Eight of Cups is about your emotional house. And I don't know. I'm just looking at these 2 cups, right? The King of Cups and the King of Pentacles. And interesting because, you know, this energy here where I feel like a natural evolution of time from the page to the king. You know, the page can be what feels like it's in the atmosphere, and then the king is the arrival. But nonetheless, I am in the Nine of Swords, and I'm fearing this energy, even though it's saying that many of these things are your soul seed of intention. It means your soul came here to have these experiences, both easy and hard. You know, I mean, I think like a spiritual playground, and being a spirit saying, you know what, I don't want any hard lessons in this lifetime. I want them all. I want just to, well, I don't know. I don't know if that's wasted time, but then again, is there time? So I don't know. But I just picture that in my mind, like, you know, this is, because in the Seven of Pentacles, then, so this seed comes to me, but then it's up to me, again, me, what I'm going to do with it. If I'm going to nurture it, or I'm going to just let it dry up. You know, it becomes back to you again. And some of you may fear that actual choice, but your judgment right below this, right below the energy of the Nine of Swords, is your whole spiritual team. Okay, let's keep going. We have the Palace of Cups on the bottom of the deck. Palace, I feel like, is, you know, where you can find yourself at. It's the atmosphere around you. Cups can be emotions, can be love. Okay, let's bring in the Light Seers. I like these 2 decks together. Sooner or later I'm going to start using other decks with them, but I don't know. Right now, I'm liking the energy that these 2 decks together bring. Can you hear the birds outside? Like, on cue. Sometimes I love doing evening readings because you hear, like, I hear all kinds of nature out this window. And I don't know if you hear it. I hope you hear it. Anyway, let's go ahead and look at this a little deeper. All right, we have the Tower. You know, a tower is an unexpected ending, an unexpected event. It can feel like, it can feel destructive. It can feel like doom, right? But truth be told, I feel like in this tower, also it can speak of time. Like, you know, sometimes I feel like we meet someone and they ignite our heart in a certain way, and then whatever happens, like, you know, we start to grow up and we separate. But it's like deep in your heart remains that person, but then you go on and you live a normal life, right? You meet people, you get married, you have relationships, but yet that remains. Interesting. I don't know why I'm bringing that up. It can speak about someone of a past and them today. So it can talk about, the tower. It's talking about you in the tower. Okay, what do we have with it? We have the Five of Pentacles. Wow. So, wow, very unexpected type energy. The Five of Pentacles gives you a message, though. It's a reminder of who you are. This is, it's saying that we feel the struggle. We know the struggle of moving through something, even when it's difficult, right? But there's opportunity that lies ahead. Five of Pentacles is there's a lot being learned in that energy moving forward, and I feel like it's time when you start really bringing in true soulmate energy. Not that you didn't have it before, but it's a time when I feel like when I'm in need, like something is there for me right when I need it. It's like I know this reading reaches you, some of you, right when you need it. And I often see comments about, like, this was exactly when I needed it, Sandy, and I feel like I know. I could feel it. So, Five of Pentacles says, walk through struggle. I'm still not clear. We have the Hangman. Hangman coming over that Nine of Swords. So clearly this Nine of Swords energy is halting, is causing us. It's almost like a wall between then this seed of intention. And this may be why, like, the big guns came out, right? To give you the message of awareness. Because the Hangman, ultimately, I do want the awareness. Even if it's hard to hear or it makes me realize that by knowing it, then I know that there's movement. And that can be difficult, right? But, the reading is also saying, as you move through the struggles, it's like there's soulmates are being put in place for you. Let that truck pass. It's funny when you live in a country, everyone's trucks are loud. You know what I mean? Like, and it's what they want. Okay. I don't think I ever brought this down. I'm sorry. The Hangman is looking directly at that Seven of Pentacles, though. We have the Wheel. Destiny. It's like I already knew that. I could already feel that. But here it is. I want to see what's going on with this page. And I'm saying it because, first of all, we need to remember the Nine of Swords is unnecessary. That's its message. Like, this worry, this feeling of doom, right? This creation, like I'm creating my future of doom, doesn't need to be there. You have to look at the source, and the source is the three. Really, it's the Four of Swords. It's the Four Swords that normally pierce the body, and three, I feel like, are of the heart, right? But the fourth is of oneself. And, that's just part of the package. We have the Knight of Cups. We have the Empress. And we have the Page of Wands. Page of Wands, she, to me, is representing freedom. She is. She just represents freedom to me. Freedom and trust. And in what? I feel like in everything. It feels very, like all of a sudden I feel very light and happy, and it's a completely different energy of up here. Maybe this is saying this is the energy that you're evolving into if you, through the Five of Pentacles, continue to move forward, right? Continue to seek the light. The Hangman, even though it's in a stationary position, is being illuminated from the Seven of Pentacles. Like, I can see it, right? And the wheel right above that, I don't know, it kind of just verifies it. So, then the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is about bringing in a cup of love, a cup of fulfillment. Some of you, you may have gone through miscarriages, and you may find that this is a time where you carry full term. You know, some of you, I feel like this is about the loss of someone, whether I wanted it or not. It is the loss of someone, because it all feels understandable, but yet I feel like everything, this Empress is giving birth, right? She's not dying off. She's giving birth. She's giving birth from a sense of all that she is, right? She is gentle, but she is strong. She is compassionate, but she's nobody's fool, right? She is nurturing. But I feel like she'll be the disciplinary when she needs to be. I just feel like she's everything. So it's interesting. We have the Five of Pentacles above that. This may just show you that whatever happened here, in one way, it's not about giving up. It's not about stopping. It's about to continue to move through whatever you're struggling with. And, I feel like it's important because with the Hangman, I'm seeking the wisdom of something before my next step, before I make a move. But that Nine of Swords is like false thoughts. It's like telling you false things. But yet you believe it because it's coming from your own mind, right? But they're still false. Some are based in truth, but the majority of them are false. So, I feel like your ancestors, our spiritual team, wants us to know that, to be aware, to be like the page, and to perhaps make a move in something. Now, this may be preparing some of you for the potential of love in some fashion definitely after the struggle. Okay, we have death and rebirth. That's about endings, so that rebirth can begin. The death card says, don't fear me. There's nothing to fear, because really death is the beginning. This is when, the rebirth, this is when we start truly living. 13 is standing out to me. I don't know why. My birthday's on the 13th, but it's just standing out to me. So perhaps the wheel wants to start moving, right? There's somebody's seed, or the majority of our seeds are coming to us. They've been planted. They've probably been there since before we got here, type of thing. But now something is coming to the surface. And in that, it's, literally you, right? It has to be you that decides to go forward in something. Look at this, a star. This is about your hopes, your dreams, and your wishes. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles. Wow. We have some very interesting that we start with some hard energy, because after the fact, and it's not that I'm saying after the fact of that energy, because some of that is loss. But the message is about you and you not giving up, because You have a full life in front. I don't care what age you are. This is about what it can be from this point on, right? Again, the Nine of Swords feels false to me. I know it's false, but it's part of what keeps me where I'm at. But the wheel is turning. The wheel is turning, and with that turning of the wheel is the Knight of Cups. This is some type of fulfillment, and it moves you into the Empress energy. But look at this, it's got the star below it too. So it is, these seeds are of your hopes, your dreams, your wishes. They're the things that you're pulled towards because they're soul experiences. It's learning the difference of truth and false, right? It's an energy thing. If I meet someone and I come up against this wall of something, maybe I don't know what it is. It's interesting. I'm just going to tell you a quick story, but when I first moved back to Indiana, I don't know if I even told you this part. I came back because my brother was in the hospital. And Sam and I, this was June 2014, but we very shortly tried to come together. Like, I would come out to his house, but I am telling you, I felt this wall, and it's interesting now because years later, we see it, we understand it. Like, I've said it, you hit this wall that was unbreakable. So I'm just saying that because maybe some of you are dealing with that, but so it couldn't happen. Like, it just couldn't happen at that time. And it's interesting what I have gone on to do since then. Really open my YouTube channel since when that happened, when I ended up moving back to Rhode Island. And then I started my YouTube channel, and then I don't know. Then he ended up calling me again like a year later, and we just started talking again, and we had talked ever since. And then here I am. Now we live together. So I don't know. Anyway, so I know all is possible, even if you think it can't be. I didn't think this was going to happen. I didn't think that him and I would be together. Not at all. But yet here it is. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't have written it any better. Also, the abundance. The Nine of Pentacles talks about the independence that perhaps that if this is talking about, the what was and what will be, this is talking about the potential of what can be. It's interesting because the King of Pentacles I often think is the business owner coming over the Nine of Pentacles, which is about, I often feel like, a business. Maybe this is someone who is birthing a business based on their past experiences. And, over and over, I feel like now's the time, right? Now's the time. So, let's keep going because I don't want to make this long. Unless it needs to be. It's interesting because I do feel like some of you may have lost a child, or someone that you had a child to. And, my condolences, first of all. I know the feeling. But I feel like their love is still here. It's still there for you. It's still with you. And I feel like their love of you is to free you, to create, maybe even speak about your experiences, perhaps even create from that. Well, look at this, and we have the Magician. So I feel like, maybe I've been mourning for a long time, which I understand. But, you know, unfortunately, well, I shouldn't say unfortunately, maybe fortunately, life keeps on moving, right? And even though it sometimes it's like, it's uncomfortable, it's almost like spirits got you covered, or your loved ones have you covered. Listen, we have judgment, and I feel judgment is our spiritual team, and our angels, our ascended angels, our archangels, all of that. So the magician is quite beautiful here, right? Anything, especially if you have a dream of, let's just say, business ownership or creating, even out of the home, even if you're having children, kind of thing, creating out of the home, I feel like that opens up a beautiful part of you. And perhaps from that energy is what then you start to bring toward yourself. Because I feel Nine of Pentacles is about success, right? But it's about what you've put into it. And the credit, therefore. The magician is you creating, right? All the tools that you have. Only one way you could have gotten these tools, and that is to have had the experiences. Excuse me, and that is to have had the experiences. You know, I feel like some of us, we can see our life and the patterns, right? Because we're old enough, and I can see what led me right to this moment. I really can, now that I'm able to look back. And that's what nine's about, reflection. And I'm in 9 personal year. But anyway, so the magician is about self and what you create from it. The importance, you know, your part in it also. All right, let's get one more or two. We have the strength card. So the strength card is beautiful. I know I'm not giving any signs, and it's okay if you want to put a sign to them, but I feel like it's more about the energies here for you. So, you know, the strength card is finding the willpower within to overcome what it is that you need to overcome. You know, this Nine of Swords, I feel like in a way, because it was self-created, you have to uncreate it, right? But the strength card says that you can do that. You absolutely can do it. Excuse me. You know, and this is about growing from that experience, truly. And then we have the Seven of Wands. Listen, this can move some of you into the area where you now become the defender of man, of, you know, your neighborhood, those who are less fortunate, that type of energy. I feel like it's coming around. Like, you know, the energy, like when you get in that flow of where after the Five of Pentacles, it feels like it takes you there because you were willing to walk through the struggle. That alone feels like a little lesson because you were able to walk through that struggle. And because you were able to overcome those thoughts and see them for what they were. It, you know, I don't want to say a reward. It's not a reward. It's like a, you know, like you just took a written exam and now you're getting your grade. Some of you are getting an A and some of you get a D. Okay. I just wasn't ready to let this go yet. We have the Six of Swords, and I'm really just taking this over everything. Six of Swords, first of all, we're moving into a 6 universal year next year, and that talks a lot about relationships. Six of Swords just came from the Five of Swords, you know, so maybe it's talking about this year is a year where I'm seeing the things that are toxic to me. Some of you may have had to throw down your own tower because you started to have the realization of what was toxic, you know, whether it be in a person, whether it be in the thoughts, whatever it is. The Six of Swords is moving beyond that. Understanding that this doesn't work with me any longer, whatever that may be. It's moving through, you know, turbulent water into nice, peaceful, calm water. But it takes your action, right? From the 5 to the 6, to the Empress, to the 9 of Pentacles. Hello. Okay. Oh. Wow, look at this. We have the Ace of Pentacles and we have the Ace of Swords. I don't know, guys. You know, especially with the Magician, the Ace of Pentacles, this is something that comes into your physical world that helps enhance it in some way. Well, we already know it is coming from that tree of the 7 of Pentacles. There it is. Excuse me. There it is. You know, and where does it exist? You know, again, I want to say unfortunately, but really it's fortunately after the period of toxicity. Right now, let's stop for a second because I feel like here is that opportunity to perhaps cut ties with, or maybe cut ties, but also to, I feel like even look at oneself. And because of that, just like I felt like, you know, you're getting a test score where the Ace of Pentacles is like 100%, but yeah, but then I use that, right down to the Magician. I can use that to create from. And look at this, 9 of Pentacles on one side, the Strength card on the other side. And then if that wasn't enough, you have the Ace of Swords. Some of you are learning how to become major communicators. And you're feeling connected in some way. And maybe you don't trust it yet. And maybe it's doubt from other people. But I feel like some of it is your own doubt too. Sorry, I don't know why. It's like I don't cough until I have to read. Anyways, I hope that you can see like the flow of this message, right? Where it started, hardship. I've been there, the towers, unexpected. Holy shit, now what? Type of thing. The 5 of Pentacles, though, is the spirit warrior. It's also, though, like every side of that, every side of this journey is a reminder that there will be help along the way. Keep your eyes open. Keep your mind open. It just feels like it, you know, it'll come to you. Here's the blessing. You know, here's that physical, something in your physical or material world. Ace of Swords. Feeling connected, right? To what? The 7 of Pentacles and the Wheel. You know, if nothing else, if that's talking about something I do, I can do it in true confidence. Truly, in true confidence. The Magician, it's all beginning with you. And it feels like it is because of what you have been through and your ability finding your way, right? Finding your way. Some of you, I feel like you're trusting more and more and more just in the natural flow. There will be challenges. You know, I don't want to go into that, but, you know, a natural type flow is available to you. And sometimes we can get off course, but, you know, that flow doesn't go away. That love doesn't go away. That help. The signs. Sometimes we miss them. And maybe that's why there's so many tarot readers, right? Because so many people miss the signs, right? This 5 of Pentacles, you know, it's illuminating the lock or the key that unlocks the door, right? It's illuminating it. But she's not looking at it at all. So this is the time, you know, I feel like, again, in the 5s, because that talks about change. What it is I need to look at. Well, here she's not focusing on moving forward. You know, if this is mourning, I get it. I do. But nonetheless, it doesn't mean that your life is over. Here is a key. Unlock the door. Please. All right, let's read the message from God. God. You prayed for help, and now it's time to allow heaven to assist you. God's love and wisdom have always been available to you, provided that you're willing to trust His divine will. Release any unhealed components of your relationship with your Creator, to Mother Mary and the angels, in favor of developing a closer and more trusting one. This may require tremendous faith on your part, especially if you can't see a solution to your present situation on the horizon. This card indicates that you've been approaching this situation single-handedly, trying to anticipate and control the outcome by yourself. Anxiety comes from distrust in divine order and timing, along with disappointment when other people don't follow your plans. Surrendering your need to be the scriptwriter helps you relax and actually get better results. God has room to heal you and the situation when you allow Him to be in charge. Well, amen. And I'm just going to leave it right there. I trust that this reading will reach those that it needs to reach. And I'm going to leave it there. I love you guys. I'll see you in the readings. Bye-bye.